Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bigfoot, and welcome your faces back to another episode of White Valley Transport Fever. Today in episode number 5, I've let the game run for a bit and I've pre-built the line that I was basically starting in the last episodes. One or two reasons, just because I wanted to try and make a nice looking wee valley here, which hasn't worked out, so I'm going to detail that up later on with trees actually. And the reason is because I think this part looks really pretty here, and I want to sort of create that right up this valley here, so I'm going to leave that, probably, I might do that off camera actually, I've not really decided, but we're pretty much ready to go on this railway. I was building it and I had one or two issues here, so I thought, you know what, let's actually have some fun, and this is really strange actually. I don't like that's not very nice, let's put it that way, but this tunnel is so cool, and with the latest update as well, you can actually see into tunnels, and you can actually see trains coming through tunnels, which is cool, and we'll see that later on as well. So, we're all good to go. That's great, we are all good to go, literally. So, let's actually get going with this transportation. So, let's get... don't do that to me. So a new bus. I don't think it's actually bigger. I think it's the same. Goods wagon. That's tempting. I don't know what trains now as well. Right, okay, so let's go ahead and first of all make our siding. Then let's actually go ahead and make our first ever train route. So select trains, not that I need to, but I am going to. First station here is going to be Hampstead Hetton branch, and then we're coming up to Hampstead. I need to do signalling and all that sort of stuff. We're going to have one train on it anyway right now, so I'm only going to be using the one track, so it's pretty much fine. Trains have got their own menus, but if I put P for passenger, because I'm going to have goods ones as well, or I put T or P, whatever. T, what's first? Hampstead is probably first. Then Hetton, so there we go. So that's that ready to go in a nude sort of colour. So I don't need lights. I don't really need much, I feel, until I get a second train on the go, which I'm just gonna play off demand because I know how expensive trains can be. So that lets me go ahead and get a train depot, and yeah, I've really not got a lot of mods on. Again, I've not changed anything from the last episode because I'm still in the same recording session. What we're gonna do now though is locomotives. And we're going to see what we can go for here. So, 16 million. I have that sort of money actually, which is kind of interesting. I want to spend that? Probably not though. 8.5 million, 87 miles per hour. Let's actually check on our wagons and see really what we can work off first. Obviously, it is 1970, so we're not going to have any multi-units, so we're going to have to be manually building trains. And 87 miles per hour, it sort of seems to be the sort of top speed we're getting here. So we've got this one here, they're basically both the same, but I want to talk about these. So I believe these are German, the Einheitswagen 2, I believe it is pronounced, and this is basically just 4-axle, your very bog standard coach, and then there's the North Korean version, Democratic People's Republic of Korea Exchange. This actually comes from the train which goes from Russia over to, is it the Russian? Yeah, it must be. So the Russian-North Korean border is not very long. It's about 17 miles long. But if you look on Google Maps, there's actually a big train yard just before you leave Russia going into North Korea. And North Korea, I mean, they only really have, I guess you could say, two allies, Russia and China. And Russia being one of them, it imports a lot of stuff. And there's also a lot of stuff which is, yeah, goes across the border via train, and these, I believe, what I'm told, are the passenger cars that are used. So I'm pretty sure I remember seeing them in a documentary as well. I find North Korea quite interesting. Anyway, 21 passengers. We're going to have 6 of these bad boys. Then we're going to get a wagon which can go 87 miles per hour. Flying Scotsman would be nice, but I think we're going to go for something a little bit higher than that. Class A4 is an option, or we could go for an electrical train like this bad boy here. I think I might go for the Flying Scotsman actually, or the Class A4. Yeah, I think I will, just because I think it looks, it's a really cool train. It is really cool. What colour are we going to get it in? That is interesting. I'm going to go for a grey. So it's sort of like... sort of just ties in with a White Valley theme, you know that. So let's buy that. And you're on the front, which is good. Then we should be able to set you onto that straight away, and let's see how you get on. So, I don't really know how well the train stations are going to do. I'm going to have to support them with buses shortly, but... let's see how this bad boy looks. This is our first train. The wagon looks very, very nice. I mean, it's just nice and detailed. As we can see, mallards. And then the passenger carts. Nothing too special about them, to be honest. They do look very modern. Or I would say they look modern anyway for 1970. But this is what I've sort of, I guess... it's weird. In this country, at least anyway, train travel sort of started to drop in the 1970s. Just because so many people were getting cars because cars became so cheap. It wasn't just the upper class that could afford them, it was now the working class. And that's what led to really a major decline in the United Kingdom of railways. A lot of railways got closed just because of that specific reason. So you're on the go, which is good to see. I'm really, really liking that. So off you go, and we'll come back to that in a second. I need to basically face facts and look at other stuff though. How's the steel? Not very good. There is a machine being produced though, which is interesting. If we turn our attention up to here and see where we're at, so you're actually at 40, which isn't too bad. What is slower though? Are we getting not enough iron? Yep, I would say we're not getting enough iron, but it's probably because we're not bringing in enough coal. That's my honest guess. So one of them is, I mean, coal's at what, 74, the other one's at 18, so it's basically about a 4-to-1 ratio, but the travel distance to get to this place here, from there to there, and from there to there, it's, yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically just add in some more coal trucks. I think, you guys are bringing in coal, it's just not a lot, and you're not spread out either, which really doesn't help. I'm just going to have to leave it for now, I just sort of have to wait for that to kick off. You're at 62, which is good, but it's just not consistent coal. Those trucks just need to spread out, that's the bottom line. I mean, there's lots of coal building up there. The iron, I mean, the iron, there's plenty of trucks going along. So it's just... oh, good luck to it, good luck to it, good luck to it. One thing I'm seeing though is a really large build-up of fuel, which is really exciting. 214 to be exact. And it's basically because we're getting a shit ton of crude oil. So instead of just sending it all to Hetton, which is what we're doing so far, that's not Hetton itself, Callum. We can shuffle over there, that would be great. As we can see, so that's at 69%. It's actually overtaking construction materials, which has dropped drastically, which is kind of worrying. I'm not at all sure. I'm guessing Coburn's gone up a little bit, but marginally. That's very strange and a bit worrying. What we're going to do is we're going to start to export some fuel to Hetton, or Coburn as well, sorry. Just because the amount of fuel that's here, we might as well get it on the move. So you're going to go from there, and you're going to come all the way over into here. You are not a train, that's for sure. So you're going to be G, you're going to be this town which is called now Coburn from Colburn, and you are fuel is what you are. So that works out nicely. I'm going to get you to go via this waypoint as well, just because, again, I don't want to clog up the roads too badly. So we can get you to come via that waypoint, and then come out via that waypoint. Then there we go. And then with that done, if we jump back over to the crude oil, there should be a depot over here, which there is. That's so cool. So much crude oil. It is dropping though, so that's why we need to export more fuel at the other end. Let's go in, and we got a new bus, so you're 16-seater. Yes, you're not even better, which is strange. I mean, in terms of if I wasn't using mods in terms of default, it is better, but only by 1 seat, so not drastically. Anyway, we're exporting fuel. We're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trucks making the journey over to Coburn. So you are the G Coburn Fuel, are you? Yeah, you should be. Did I name that? I just didn't see the road appear, that was all. It's because it's a really bad colour, isn't it? Yeah, it's like a grey, so that's probably me just being a little bit blind. So that should really keep everything going, I would say, at quite a good rate. You're dropping. I think I just need to add more trucks on in general. This road is all it is trucks, but I think we do definitely need to get some more crude oil on the move. So let's buy 1, 2, 3, probably about 4 more trucks. And you are the G Hetton crude oil line. I'm trying to not look at the list and memorise it first so I don't look through the list, because half the time when I look through the list, I feel I just miss stuff and skip through it, and it's just... I'm not really paying attention the best, to be honest. This place is getting more busier by the second though, so that's something to keep note on. You can just see the amount of trucks just going along here. There's a lot of them, that is safe to say. Okay, so this place is pretty chock-a-block here as well. What I might do is, I mean, you're not actually getting stuck in traffic that badly, to be honest. The problem is the loading times is the problem. And I can't assign you guys to like multiple lanes. I mean, that would be great if I could. If I click on the terminal, there is actually 3 coming into this. So you know what, I am going to upgrade it. I can't upgrade it. Well, that sucks. Okay, I'm going to upgrade this now though. Why have we got 3? I mean, we've got an input, I suppose. Yeah, we've got an input and we've got 2 outputs, so that makes sense. Is there any way I can get more input into here? Is there another stone? There's another stone really close to here, actually. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to upgrade this and I'm going to bring in more stone this episode as well. So let me pause, let me delete you outright. Yes, I think that might get rid of the raw resources, though I hope it doesn't, but got a feeling it will. Then we're going to upgrade and we're going to go for a big one. Let's go for a cargo station. Let's go for a large one. This has got 4 lanes. We're probably going to need it. And yeah, so you do have 1, 2, 3, 4 terminals. Rock and roll. Lock all you guys in. They'll change you to 3. And there we go. And then when we get the 4th in, you'll have your own lane. So that works out really, really nicely all in all. You unfortunately did reset, so we did lose some stock, but that's probably maybe a good thing in terms of the whole cycle. Your production is dropping rapidly, so I do want to get more stone up here. Looks like you've stopped though, which is good at 220. I don't really want you to just drastically drop to 0, because that would be a disaster. That bus is full, and that bus is full, so we're obviously still doing quite well in terms of moving people around as well. So coming back over, how's the train doing? Pretty shit, is the bottom line. It's because there's a bus running that route as well, so that's totally understandable. So what we're going to do is we're going to really just remove the bus outright. Yep, you heard that correct. I want to serve the station though. You do get served by a bus anyway, so that's fine. I think there's only 1 bus that goes via there, but I mean, you're not too far away from the yellow bus stop either, so it's not a problem. What we're just basically going to do is we're going to remove this route. I'm literally going to sell and then remove. So the yellow route has now outright gone, which is quite a drastic change. Again, I'm also seeing, not a problem here, but you're going to get moved to Terminal 3 now. So there we go, so that's a little bit better. So that means people only have to use the train to commute in between these 2 towns, which isn't that a big deal. It relieves this road in terms of pressure a little bit, which is good because it's got a lot of, it's mainly trucks on it. A few cars and then a few buses before, but this means the train's going to have even more importance. Right now you got 20 people on you, which isn't too bad actually. In terms of profit though, it's not. And that's what worries me. I need to make money here. One thing I have done though is I've gone ahead and I've basically made this town really poor transport links. So what we're going to do is we're going to get Hampsteads connected up, as I said, to some more towns so we can still connect up Hampstead this little bit. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to change this name to just Bangor, or Regis, Bangor. No, I'm going to go for Bangor. So Bangor is a city, or a town at least, in North Wales. It might actually be Bangor. Bangor. I don't know. It's quite a cool word. I'm going to call it Bangor. Banger. Whatever you want to call it. So that's pretty cool. I've just realised there's also more stone over here too. Which is kind of good. What was it? A stone's all the way over there. Right, do one thing at a time. We'll do the stone shortly, but we need to focus on this. This is the priority. You're moaning about what exactly? I'm starting to see a lot more output here. You're at 28, so that's really good. So upgrade in 7 months. It's coming, ladies and gentlemen. It is coming, which is really, really exciting. Right, coming back out here though, and we are connecting up this town first of all. So this town's looking not bad anyway. It's not a bad population, and it is what? Okay, so it's probably one of the lower towns. Don't get me wrong, but I mean it's not connected up to the grids. So once it is connected up to the grid, then I'm sure there'll be a bit of a change. So what we're going to do is we're going to destroy all of that, and the station is going to be back here. Let's go for passenger, and let's go for one. Oh, I want to go for this one because we've not built this one yet, and I think it looks really cool. It's maybe a bit unnecessary, but I think it's cool. And it's just because it's got a building and it's got the 4 lanes, so that looks pretty dope, I feel anyway. And there we go, so that's that all set to go. In terms of another bus stop in this town, yep, we can easily do that, that is for sure. And we just need to build lots of bus stops, really. I just want more bus routes. That's the bottom line. Long term, will the train be extended? Yes, it will be extended, but it's probably not going to be in any rush unless we get a drastic increase in population. I could maybe see it coming up to this town here, because this town without connections is relatively large, or it could go along to Clory, but I just can't see the train getting upgraded that quickly anyway until these towns are better connected. So there'll be a bus stop there, then there'll be a bus stop probably about there as well, and that is fine for that town right now. In terms of coming up to this place here, I do want a bus station here. You're sort of like end of the road though, like I don't think you'd have a connection to Hampstead and a connection to North Weston. I'm just going to rename that Weston shortly, but you're only going to have 2 routes ever, I think, so we're just going to build you in there like that, and that works out nicely. In terms of bus stops, you can have 1 or 2 bus stops, no problem, but I can't see, just because this is at the end of the, I feel it's sort of at the end of the line, I don't really feel it's going to get too many buses coming into it. This town's quite large though, but I'm just going to start off with a basic 2 again, because you're not in the centre of the map, and if you're not in the centre of the map, then you're just going to get 1 less, I mean you're going to get what, 3 bus routes and that's it, so it's just the way you are, you're not in a large crossover point. Ladies and gentlemen, you can now see the amount of steel, it's insane, so we need to get more trucks moving steel, which is something I definitely did not think would be happening. Well, obviously coal's coming in at a good rate right now, which I'm very happy to see. Let's get an extra 2 steel trucks, 1, 2. You are going, why are you 4 and 5? That's strange. Oh, it's probably because I upgraded some of my Opel Blitz or something. Or no, it's because I got rid of the buses and the yellow route must have been the first route. That's probably why. Anyway, let's get back to this. So, steel, think, Callum. We're looking for a route with the ending of steel, and that's it there. So there we go. That should be shipping more. That's the steel mill actually complaining. You have tried to ship more items. We are shipping more items. No, so I know what's happened. The coal trucks are still really close together, and they've brought a shit ton of stuff in, and now production's stopped. So I've maybe shot myself in the foot, but hopefully they'll start to spread out a little bit more. Anyway, sorry, we've built 2 new bus stations, so let's get these bus stops in ASAP, and let's get these routes going. So this town's really weird shaped actually, so we're going to have a bus stop up there, then we'll have a bus stop over there, and then we'll have a bus stop just on the edge of town, so that's quite a few bus stops in there. This one's probably just going to have a bus stop as it leaves. We can probably get another one out there too actually, so that's only 3, then you'll go down that road. I'm going to have to upgrade these roads anyway, so I think this one's already actually, yeah, you're already a, what are you called, a medium country road. Doesn't look like this road is here though, and it's not getting much use to be fair either, so let's connect you along like that. One thing I am going to do is I'm actually just going to do some deleting right now anyway, so let's cut you back and pre-build, no, you to there and then into there like that, so minor upgrade, but makes a difference. I'm going to do the same here actually. This corner here is just a little bit unnecessary, I feel. So we'll chop you off there. We will then do continue with sort of the T-junction theme and just draw you along to there like that. So there we go. Much more direct. So with that done now, we can actually create the routes. In terms of coming out of this town, we can definitely serve a lot of this town. So there's lots of people waiting now. We're up to 40, which is good. I really doubt the train is okay, it is profitable. There we go. That's a surprise, not gonna lie. It really is. It's actually a relief as well though. How many people are coming in? 63 people are coming in, which is good to see. So it's definitely getting some use and it's gonna be better than the buses. That's really the bottom line. And when we get more bus routes in action around this town, then that is gonna have a big change. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have one of the buses, it's gonna come out. Can I build a bus stop there, please? There we go, thank you. It's gonna come out via this part of town. I'm gonna pre-build a bus stop there, and then a bus stop there. So you can sort of see I'm gonna build a road along there shortly, and you're gonna go out that way. Then this other one is gonna come down via that bus stop there, stop at that bus stop there, stop at a bus stop there, and then visit the one out of town as well. So this is me pretty much just building these two bus routes to serve this town. I think that's quite smart of me to do anyway. So with that done, let's actually create these routes, and you can see, if you can't currently see, what I'm visualizing in my head. So from the centre up to Park Avenue, getting the yellow back out again. I really do like the yellow actually, it's just so easy to identify the bus routes. You into North Street, Victoria Street, and then into the main station and then back. You can see the amount of cars. I mean, we're on ×3, which is never good, but you can see the amount of cars moving around up in these towns. They do need the connections quite quickly. So back through the town here, New Streets, Park Avenue, and there we go. So that works out really, really nicely, and that's that route good to go. So you are a B, you are Hampstead up to Brawley, I believe the place is called. If it's not, then that's awkward. What is it called? Game, don't do this to me. Okay, it's called Bawtry, or Bawtry. I got Bawtry. Okay, fair enough, I can do that. If I can spell, Bawtry, there we go. I've just realised I built bus stops and stations up there. I'll connect that up shortly, but not just yet. Then we have got our other route which we need to do, which is going to go from here. Much more disgusting colour, but as we know, all colours need to be used. Then you're going to come up here. The next stop's not till here. Now, with this route, we're actually serving most of this town anyway, which is quite good, so I really do like this. Back to Mill Road, back all the way down. These routes are going to take quite a while, actually, to, or at least this one I'm currently building, because it is quite some distance, and it does weave around the town as well, and then back in there. So this is B, and I'm not really at all sure what the other town is called. I want to hit D right now to move, but I can't. So that's Hampstead, we know that. You are called... You're going to be called Weston, because that name is way too long. Or I could call it Portishead. I like the name Portishead, we'll go with Portishead. I can deal with that name, so let's get rid of that, and there we go. So Portishead, so you are, rename you, open you up, rename you, so you are B and you are Hampstead to Portishead, which I think is quite a cool name actually. And there we go, so that is that good to go as well. So with that done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and we are going to get some, or find a bus depot, or build a bus depot. There's not one up here right now, I know that, so we'll stick you actually over here just out the way, and we're going to get lots of buses onto this. So starting off with the yellow route, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just because you're closer and it's not as big as town, but the other one's going to get a lot. You are like that mustardy yellow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you can see the difference in buses there, quite drastic. A difference of about, what, 90 seats, 84 seats to be specific, that's the right word, Callum, well done. we got there in the end, and we're all good, and that should definitely, hopefully, help, one, the town of Hampstead. Why am I trying to call it Stansted now? That's an airport in, well, Berkshire, but serves London-ish, sort of. It will help the train as well, that is what I'm trying to say. Speaking of the train, how are we doing now? 51, so we are on the up, definitely. I don't think by any means, though, that it is perfect, but until we get another train, I don't think it will be. We are definitely really getting demand for a train to come along here, because, you know what? I mean, there's 3 towns in a row which could do with a train. Coburn, Maidstone, and Telscombe. These are in a perfect valley. These could do with a train. Which is very, very tempting, to say the least. I don't think I'll go for it right now, because I think I need to turn my attention back to here. The upgrade is coming, which is great. I just need that 5 months to fly in sooner, though I'm not going to force it of you. Jesus Christ, know what I mean. Okay, well, there's fuel in abundance. Crude oil is probably dropping due to that specific reason. We obviously need to export fuel at a better rate or to more towns. So how's Hetton's percent? How is Hetton's percentage? 68, you can never, I feel, really get above 80, so you're pretty much maxed out. Coburn could definitely do with a lot more, so let's get like maybe an extra 6 trucks and start to send stuff over the hill to Coburn. So let's grab fuel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then this is going on the G Coburn fuel line, so off you guys go. And then we should be all good there. You can just see the lack of crude oil coming out of here just because of this such high fuel build-up, which is a good thing because that really makes me go ahead and sort of forces me to correct the issue. But there's coal there. Is that closer than that coal there? It's not that bad. It's not far out, to be fair. Anyway, aside from that though, what I'm going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is I'm going to wrap this episode up here because I think that is me pretty much done for the day. Recorded so much of this. I think I've recorded like, I think I'm about 8 episodes in advance now, so or no, this is only episode 5 or 6, so not really at all sure. What are you moaning about? Trying to ship more items? Yep, that's understood and has been dealt with. So the train's up and going. I still don't really know if I'm happy with the train or not, to be honest. It's just I think maybe need to get a second train on that line, if you understand what I'm saying, or maybe connect up another town, like Bangor. I've not purposely not connected up Bangor's bus routes, but it's definitely an option, or at least I want to build more trains, you know what I mean? I could definitely see the purpose of goods. I really could, but I also want to connect up Hetton on the train. I mean, we could do Hetton, then Burnham, then a train that comes... Oh my word. Oh, I could do a loop. Okay, right, I know what I'm doing next episode, ladies and gentlemen, and I've got a feeling you probably know what I'm doing too. While still trying to manage everything else, because there's a lot going on, like, even though we're we're only a few episodes in, the amount of routes we have is quite a lot. So if we actually look through just our profit margins, like we do at the end of every episode, something that I'm going to instill in this series, and it's going to sort of really just be standard. You're a new bus route and you're a new bus route, so that's fine. But all the other ones, I mean, we're talking about millions here, we really are. In terms of goods as well, pretty much good all round. Hetton construction though, that is what is the problem? I'm not really at all sure. We'll investigate that before we wrap this up. And the train is in the profit, though it's not a profit really that I want to see trains at. Before we go, so it's the G Hetton construction. So I'm just guessing we're not bringing in enough stone into this place, and we'll sort that out in the next episode as well, because there is more stone there, and that will solve that issue quite easily. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is all for this episode, so I hope you have enjoyed it. Please leave a like rating, go ahead and check out some of the links down below, follow me on Twitter and on Patreon, and that's all for this video. So thank you very much for watching, my name is Bigfoot, and I'm out.